Okay, let's get started here. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm hoping this is going through smoothly and not choppy because I was not able to plug it right in. So I'm having a little bit of technical issues as I try to run over here really quick. So I'm just going to check our audio really quick on our pages. And let's see if we're all set up here. Looks like we have a little bit of a delay even going on to our Facebook. So we'll check that out in 1 second. And this is just a reminder, we're going to do something a little different here. James did have some previous engagements and obligations he had to take care of this evening. So we went ahead and did a recording for this so that y'all can hear straight from the horse's mouth what we're getting ready to do. So let me just check on here, make sure that we are getting into our live. Let's see. And I want to make sure. Now, if you have any questions, you can use the live chat on either the YouTube or Facebook. Just click the video there. Let me just double check our sound here. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me try our YouTube. Not seeing it on our Facebook yet. 2, 3. Okay, great. I see it there. So I think YouTube's just Facebook's might having a little issue too. So I want to say Happy New Year first off to everybody who has tuned in tonight. And again, if you have any questions, just type them into the live chat. The video I'm about to show you is previously recorded. I'm hoping there are no issues as it's playing. Again, I'm kind of running on a little bit of a different setup than we normally do. So hopefully this all works. So this is going to be, again, a bit of a video. I interviewed James just to ask him a few things so he can explain stuff that's coming on this year. But before we go ahead and start, if you can in the comments, put where you're watching from. Let me know, if you want to just put like San Antonio, Texas here, you can do that. Let us know where you're watching from. I see we have a few viewers tuning in. And I just want everybody to know, too, if you need to, you can also rewatch this later on our YouTube channel. It's there under the live tab. So with that, so let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen so you can see this video. And let me add it onto the stream here. All right, let's get this playing. And I don't know if I can see the control bars here. Hold on. There we go.
We really have tried to do over the past few years is limit our price increases, because we know that so many of our users are selling their artwork as prints, and they're whenever we know what it's like when to have your supplier or company that you depend on so you can have these products produced. When they raise prices, how disconcerting that can be. So we've always tried to find ways to avoid that. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to pretty much weather it by one, we've increased volume on many of our products, and the amount of products that we're shipping out. Because we're shipping out more products, we're able to order more supplies and save by ordering more things in bulk. We also have more space, but that only will carry you so far. So one of the things we've had to do is start looking at areas where we've had no choice but to increase prices. A lot of it's just being driven by the commodities market. Uh, the cost of paper as that goes up, cost of fuel to ship supplies to us as that goes up. Uh, our cost to ship things has every year uh, since the beginning has gone up in one form or fashion. Obviously, we're in a different category when it comes to shipping than most people because of the amount we ship. But we're still subject to fuel surcharges and all that fun stuff. So we have had to look at some of our lower margin items, which we were some of those items we produce almost at cost for our users, and raise the price just a little bit. Some of the papers, Hannah has been, and we love Hannah, but they really have just every 6 months it seems, and I might be exaggerating, I might not be. I don't know what the exact number is, but it seems every 6 months or so they're doing a substantial price increase as well. So it basically gets to the point where we either dollars, you've netted $30. So you're not going to feel the pinch as much as if you're selling, less expensive items on Etsy. So I do know with the not so much us. Well, let me take a step back. I do know that when we started seeing these huge jumps in prices on, say, like the Kodak papers, we had a huge influx of people coming to us to start printing their Kodak prints because we didn't raise our prices. And so, but eventually we did have to raise those prices just because that was one of those items that we were doing at cost. But believe it or not, we actually retained most of those customers because we were, even though we raised the prices, we considered kind of a low margin item and we kept our costs down. So it's kind of it's always kind of a fun game of trying to, and I say fun with a lot of cynicism there, but to try to not raise prices while still offering the same products. So so basically, if you may see some slight increases in prices, and just kind of, what our suggestion to people is look at what you're charging if you're selling items on a Shopify, Squarespace, or Etsy store, or using one of these social media marketplaces to sell. If you're still selling items at the same cost or the same price that you were selling them 2 years ago, then I strongly suggest you revisit your pricing.
Sure.
And that's whether or not you're using us to fulfill those orders or another fulfillment print and fulfillment service, or whether you're printing on your own. Prices are going to increase.
Mhm.
Cost of shipping is going to continue to go up. Cost of materials will go up. Hopefully, we'll see a slowdown relatively soon. We'll see. I'm not an expert when it comes to that, and we hear different things, but I do strongly recommend that people start to visit their own pricing and look at what they're earning and whether or not they're earning it enough and able to stay competitive. Try to raise the prices as little as you have to, because you don't want to turn away your existing customer base. So that's my tip to anyone selling their prints, especially when it comes to related.
And if people go to our YouTube channel and click on that live tab, about 2 months ago, I think it was like October, we did talk about increasing your prices. And so we have some tips there on how you can do that. So if you want to revisit that as well, that'll probably help you as well, and kind of justify your reasoning for upping your prices too for your customers.
There's different areas that people will utilize to increase to bring in more revenue. One is they'll increase shipping the cost of shipping. So if you have an online store, you charge higher shipping rates, or you charge higher for the product itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of increasing rates on shipping, and it's not that you shouldn't. You should, but I'm not a big fan of it because I understand that our culture has been kind of ingrained with the concept that shipping should be free or very, very inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find yourself, and I recommend this to anyone that I talk to about e-commerce, if you're losing too much on shipping, raise the cost of the price of the product, because your customers, your buyers will are more accepting of a price increase on a product, whether it be a handmade basket or a print or just some invention that you're selling online, versus raising the cost of shipping. Especially if you're charging a flat rate for shipping, or so that's kind of
more information. We do have it on our website. James has a drop down.
I don't know how much longer that will be up there, but it basically just kind of summarizes
what he just said. Yeah, exactly.
And one other thing that users can do to help offset
this cost
increases is to look at offering impulse purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Encourage them to spend more. Buy 2 prints, get 1 free. Your margins are a little lower percentage wise, but you're actually bringing in more revenue because you're encouraging people to spend more. So there's little tricks you can do.
bundling, packaging, and those are some of the things that we talked about too in that video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
so hopefully that helps, But we wanted to also do stuff here at FinerWorks to make sure, while we did have to raise prices, we wanted to make sure to kind of come up again with some saving techniques on our site. So, James, you had recently implemented the credits. Can you talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So we came up with a concept last year called FinerWorks credits, which we've been utilizing for quite some time. It basically we especially so the way it works is if you get like a gift card at FinerWorks, you actually rather than apply apply the gift card at time of checkout, we let you apply the gift card to your account. Just kind of like you do at Amazon. And so and you can accrue credit because a lot of times we get people say, okay, well, I got this gift card from here and I got another FinerWorks gift card from there. Can I combine them? And so it became, our customer service team was constantly having to combine gift cards, which was kind of a pain. So we came up with this new method called where basically we keep a kind of a ledger of all these electronic ledger of all these gift card amounts, and so we called those FinerWorks credits or account credits, and so we also implemented the digital gift card, which was kind of a follow-up to that, and it allowed us to, people to be able to add credits to their account. And we also had a lot of people from different countries, Turkey, various Asian countries, countries in Africa, certain parts of Europe that would find it difficult to drop ship items because of restrictions with PayPal. They couldn't use their they couldn't use PayPal in their country, or if they had too many orders to submit at the credit card company would maybe approve the first couple transactions, and then any other transactions would get declined for the next 30 minutes. Just kind of weird rules governing that, and these were legitimate artists, photographers in these countries that were running into issues trying to have us fulfill their orders, and these were honest people. We're not talking about some of those.
You're not talking about the prince that wants to buy an anniversary gift for his wife that's $500,000 budget, right?
Yeah, or wanting to buy 100,000 copies of a print, and just these weird scams. Now these were legitimate people, and a lot of them have become very successful sellers on places like Etsy, and have very very good customer service. They know what they're doing, and they're good people. But anyways, they were having problems placing orders with us because of payment restrictions across different countries. So by adding the accounts credits option, it gave them another way of being able to pre-purchase, I guess you would say, or it would say basically, giving them the ability to have funds already spent so that and apply to future orders. And so we implemented that, and then just recently we added the ability for people to purchase these. Before they had to go through customer service, call us up, and it was just this kind of a pain. But now people can order these account credits online through our website, and it'll keep track of the balance. And anytime you place an order, it will deduct those credits from your account. So it's a great way to, basically, pre-purchase account credits so that you can apply to orders. And right now, last week we were offering, I think, 10% back in free credits, FinerWorks credits. This week's we dropped it down to 5%, but still it's a good option, especially if you want to use those in conjunction with an existing sale or special, because account credits aren't affected by that. I know with, like our, right now, I think we have a sale for watercolor bright white is 33% off. And there are some restrictions because with getting that the full 33% off, because if you order 10 copies of that print, you're also
getting a discount.
And you can't double up on your discounts. You're gonna get one or the other, whichever is a better discount. And so, but with account credits, when you order, if you get a 5% return on your purchase of account credits, well, you get basically, if you buy $100 in FinerWorks credits, you get an additional $5. So you can then apply that $105 to an order plus get that 33% off.
James, one of the questions that we saw come in through customer service about that was when they do have the credits build up, it goes to the application of the next purchase they make, correct?
Correct. It doesn't go to
you can't choose which, like, to cherry pick it and say, well, I'm going to make this order.
I think at some point we're going to figure out a way for people to be able to, it'll default where it does, but they can say, you know what, I don't want to use account credits on this particular order.
Yeah. Okay. That would be a nice, I think, upgrade, because we had a lot of questions about that when they came in, and to see those credits, it would be under quick checkout up at the top. If you go to my account, you'll see at the top quick checkout info.
Yeah, or actually you'd go to my account credits right below that.
Oh, actually, okay, all right. My account credits. Forgot we have a new.
My credits.
Yeah, and that would be the same number you would see.
Yeah, and this is where you can actually purchase them.
Okay, so you can add these on there, and account credits can build from a couple of different sources. Like you're saying, you can purchase them. If you got a gift card, you could go into that quick checkout and apply those credits to this. And if you're also using the referral program, correct? Those all kind of contribute to this credit amount?
Yes. Now, you can't use account credits to purchase account credits. That's the one restriction on that. So that wouldn't work. So.
All right. Well, that's good to know. And I think, like you said, just touching it another way, we're trying to, again, ease those price increases is by also doing sales, like you were just mentioning.
One of the things that people may see is, let's say, they may think, wow, FinerWorks is sure offering a lot of sales, much more than they did before. And, we always try to offer 1 or 2 sales a month. So, but we're going to try to actually increase those. One of the strategies that we found very effective and benefits everyone, FinerWorks, our buyers or our customers, everyone from that you can is the specials, because when we do these specials, we can buy more products, whether it be inks, papers, just what have you. We can buy more in bulk, and we can save in bulk, and we can pass that savings on to you by offering, sales. And then, so that increases your margins when you sell them online, or if you want to offer a sale, and, so your buyers can benefit from them. So it can benefit everyone.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to do more sales, especially to help offset some of these price increases, because it just the way the economics of it work is that whenever a sale is offered, people, you actually generally you make more money. So so when we do that, it helps us not have to increase prices as much as well.
And I know a lot of our customers sometimes ask, why don't we have maybe something that kind of gives them a beforehand notice that we're going to have XYZ sales. And I see this also kind of, I think, with people ask about tier discounts, is that really every product that we have, I think when I'm just kind of watching you do sales and stuff, it's kind of a balancing act of existing inventory,
Yeah.
It's not.
And then our suppliers will have sales. So, and we don't know when they will have sales. Or let's say we decide to do a sale on matted prints. Well, matted prints, mats, or let's say on just a plain Snow White mat. Well, our supplier may have, extra mats, or be running a sale on that stock. And so when they do that, hey, let's buy up a bunch of that, and let's pass that savings on to our customers. But we only have, we have to order it now before it's all gone.
Yeah.
So it's, these things happen really quick sometimes. And so we try to, sometimes plan out sales, but it doesn't always work the way we want it to when we do it that way. Yeah. Sometimes we have said, okay, let's offer us, plan out a sale for a certain product, and then, let's say it was, a coffee mug or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so suddenly, there's a shortage of coffee mugs. So, there's not, but let's just hypothetically, there could be a shortage of coffee mugs, right before the sale. So you have to kind of be careful with that. Mm-hmm. And you can sometimes plan it out. We have done it, plan it out, and say, okay, well, let's buy this paper in advance and plan on, next month having a sale on it.
Yeah. So, and we'll see that too when people ask, well, can you just give me even with tier discounts on there? And the reason we're not able just to kind of throw out a blanket discount is it really does depend, again, your order volume, and then the materials that you need for your end result print. Like in some cases, we can give you maybe the deal on the paper, but you might not see that savings in, let's say it's a mounted print. So in cases like that, it's not so cut and dry, and we got to talk to our suppliers and see what kind of price break we could get.
Sure. So, well, there's also one of the things that people can do to help, offset, their own price increases, is to consider offering sales to your own buyers. Uh-huh. So Online sales are a very effective tool. I remember years ago, I, I I thought I was well versed in e-commerce back then, but
Always more to learn.
yeah, and I'm still constantly learning. Um, but I hardly ever did any sales,
Mhm.
and so um, then one year we decided, you know what? Let's see what happens. Let's start doing sales, and uh, how they benefited us. I mean, it was just incredible. You when if you're a small online shop owner and selling your print, your artwork online, you may feel the way I felt initially. You feel that, okay, well, if I'm giving a $20 product, if I'm selling it for $15, I'm losing $5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the surface, that's the way it looks, but actually, what happens is you may sell it for $15, but because you're selling it cheaper, you're going to get more customers. So you may get 3 customers purchasing that product versus 1. So you actually increase your volume, increase how much you're earning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have those concerns, I would suggest test it out.
Yeah.
If you're not if you want to become successful in selling online, okay, you have to be willing to test yourself. Okay, see what works, see what doesn't. Don't just say, okay, I'm not going to change a thing unless you don't want to grow. Because I guarantee you, if you do not change, okay, eventually you're going to just wither and die. You know, from an e-commerce point of view, not literally, um, but your business is going to wither and die, and so what you want to do is you want to uh, find ways to how do I increase sales? How do I encourage more people to come to my website or to purchase my artwork and all this? Test. Yeah, you're going to lose some money, but you're going to also gain some money. So you're going to learn from your mistakes, and so you'll know not to repeat those same mistakes, and you'll learn from your successes as well. And so, in general, you'll find that you're going to be able to grow your business that way.
And I know for artists it's harder a little bit. Sometimes it feels like
It feels like you're giving away money. Like you're
well, it's in trying to get new customers. It's not always the same, like with a raw material kind of, and like where you feel like a price would bring them in. And so that's what I'm saying. Don't feel discouraged if you try something like that and doesn't. Sometimes maybe a different approach to that, like what we do with referral programs, having existing collectors and fan base of your art send over, and they get a discount for every new person that they turn on to your art, because more than likely, in shared social circles, we tend to have some of the same common likes. That's why those social circles tend to be bonded like that. We have some shared interests, and those people may bring you those new customers. So trying certain things like that with new customer base, those are the ways you might want to go about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, and what you'll find is that, if you're faced with a situation where you have to, where you're just, you're just barely scraping by, you're not charging enough. Okay, you need to charge more. Okay, don't worry about losing customers, because if all your customers will pay you just enough to get by, then those are not high quality customers. What I mean by high quality, customers which generate revenue. Okay.
Well,
I mean,
it's like
a high quality customer is a customer that's going to enable you to make a profit. And
exactly.
the higher the profit, the higher the quality. So it's like a way of rating a customer or scoring a customer. Not that they're personally of poor quality. I'm just saying from a rating standpoint. So you want to try to increase your higher quality customer rate.
Yeah. Well, we've had Gabe Leonard on our first Tuesday before, and to me, he's like a perfect example of that. I remember, when I first was introduced to Gabe's work at the gallery, and we're learning how, like in the Santa Monica Pier, he used to sell these paper prints, and I don't think at that time they were even on a fine art paper, and they were $25. And now, when he had it was a sale of his fine art paper prints on it. Those were $250. For just the paper print. And that was at a sales price. So he's able to command now, and he's retained, those collectors that I want to say have grown with him over the years.
Yeah, and that's what you'll do is you will build a collector base that that is willing to spend.
Yeah, and his collectors.
You're not going to be stuck selling $20 prints.
Exactly.
Everyone starts
somewhere.
$20 prints or whatever it is, but ultimately, though, you want to reach a point where you're not charging $20. So.
Exactly. So that's me look at it. And right now, I actually have up is our bright white color paper print prices on there. Mm-hmm. And as I was talking about, our different mounting styles are in the back. So if there's something you want to look at, here's and if you ever, James is always reminding me about this. If there's something here you see, like let's say we look at watercolor bright white, and we want to look at it on artboard mounted, and you're like, well, I'm not going for a special size. I want exactly this, a 10 by 10. You can just click on that 22, and that will take you right into our post, which is our print online setup tool. And you would just add the image here.
Right there, pre-configured, just add the image, add it to the card, check out. Real simple.
It's very simple. So that's a nice way if you're just kind of pricing around something and want to see some of that stuff. That's a good way, and you don't want to rebuild that into the post tool. Just click on that price. It'll take you right in, and it has all those specs. And then you're able to check your quantity there if you want to see what kind of volume discount you'll get on those if you order, multiple of those. Another thing that we're looking at, speaking out of our post tool, is, we realize sometimes the site can be a little, it has I want to say a learning curve to it, just like any website does. I've ordered prints for artists for many years, and I've had to go through different fulfillment print vendors, and every site has, I want to say, their own proprietary tools to making those orders. So there is a learning curve, no matter which way you decide to go. And it's, I think our site is that way because we're trying, how they say it is hard to be everything to everybody, but we really do try because there's so many people with so many different print projects.
Yeah.
And we really try to get that all, communicated, so you don't have to sit there and call somebody and have to have somebody, available during business hours to go ahead and let me take, back in the day, it's how we did it. We had a piece of paper with a carbon notebook, and you would write what the specs and everything were. And it was a long, tedious process till you got the printing going. So this is something to help everybody. We also have customers, as James was mentioning earlier, in every corner of the world. So,
so that they can't call someone up at
what would be like 2 a.m. here.
Yeah, Yeah, or 3. Yeah. So, so yeah,
Occasionally they may catch me on social. And then I have to use Babbel or something like that to kind of translate.
Yeah.
But kudos to them for their excellent English because my multi-language skills are horrible. So
yeah.
so that's what the site is. But we're going to try to come up every week. James is kind of tasked me here with coming up with Tango. And if you haven't seen Tango, what it is basically a screenshot recording of your workflow. And this will help you, how to order a deckled edge floating print in a.
So basically, it'll walk you through the process. It'll be like a little slideshow showing the step-by-step process, how to do it on our website. And so we're going to start putting together kind of a library of these slideshows, instructional tutorials, basically, that I think will be very helpful for our users.
And I'm trying to use those as a base too for our tutorials on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so, and then our customer service team will also be able to forward people to those links as well.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to, and we're hoping it helps a lot of you with setting up products and stuff like that will be new for you, something fresh for your website to offer. So we'll go into having those coming out also. Now let's talk about some new I know I'm excited about this because I work still at Tatum, and we have some really great stuff coming out. Recently we've been talking about, and we've been prepping even during our crazy Christmas season, is t-shirts. So those will be coming sometime soon. Let me see, where are they under?
They're not listed there, but they are available in post in black and white right now. Okay. So they over the weekend they went live, but right now it's just one-sided, just front, but we are going to make it available on front and back as well. So 5 different sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, and double X large. Right now, just in black and white. We're going to add some more colors. I'm not sure what. Probably red will be in there. Maybe.
Are you going to do a kind of a poll, you think, James, on our newsletter? And
well, I have a list of the most
colors.
Yeah. So, but we're going to add some additional colors. These are all unisex. The image area is approximately 10.5 by 16.5. So for a large shirt, it's going to, it's pretty good coverage that you can do. For extra large, it may not look as all encompassing, but still you'll be able to get some nice imagery on there. So this uses a direct transfer method. It's not dye sublimation. It's actually it's a certain type of ink design for shirts, similar to direct to garment printing. So it's going to have kind of almost a silk screen type feel.
Yeah.
And so those are available, and people can start ordering those now.
Okay.
And we just, like I said, we just added them, so we'll add some more colors and the ability to print on the back of the shirt as well soon.
So when you go in there, same thing, you would just kind of click on this and select an image.
The only thing with sometimes people will want to have an image that's
say something
not
like that.
Rectangular. Let's say it's a logo that's in a circle, and so that the zone, we call it a zone, okay, that artwork can print to is rectangular, obviously, but you don't want anything else. And when you add an image to that zone, what happens is, let's say if your logo, it's a circle, you add your logo, your circular logo, normally what would happen is everything outside of that circle is going to be printed white, okay, so which is going to look kind of weird on a black t-shirt. Now, there's a way around that, okay, and that is to, let's say if you have a circular logo and you want to add it to your black t-shirt, and you don't want everything outside of that logo to be white. Let's say you just wanted the text. Let's say it was black text, but let's say it was white text. Okay. Well, you want what you want to do is you want to submit a PNG file or a TIFF file that has transparency in it.
Okay.
An alpha channel. And so basically everything, and you'll be able to tell if I can share my screen here.
Here, let me go ahead and stop sharing on mine. Yeah, I think if you can show some examples, that would be great.
Okay. So, okay. I need to go to. Okay, I need to share my screen. Where is it?
Present.
Okay. Screen share. Okay, here we go. And okay, can you see my screen here? Okay, so what we have here is we have two different versions. We have of this tiger here. We have one, it's a PNG, and one is a JPEG. Now, JPEGs do not allow you to save an alpha channel or have a transparent background. But PNGs and TIFFs do. So if you use a JPEG, and let's say I come over here and I select t-shirts and medium black. My computer's long as yours is.
And while that's doing it, is there also ways of positioning it on the shirt, James? Okay.
There we go. Okay, so if you submit a JPEG that with a white background, that's exactly how it's going to print. Or if you submit a PNG with a white background, that's exactly how it's going to print. It's going to look like that. Now, of course, you can also, Melissa was asking about positioning. Well, you can click on the image and that'll bring you again, I got too many windows open. So.
Yeah, all those tabs open up there.
Yeah, but you can actually click on the image and it'll give you the ability to reposition the image.
And size as well. I know sometimes we have an issue with scaling.
Yeah, well, it's always for t-shirts, things like t-shirts, coffee mugs, it's going to always scale. It's not going to automatically crop the image. It's going to contain the image. Okay. And so in this case, it scales it to fit in that region. I'm going to just kind of move that up. Now, again, so that's going to be if you submit like a JPEG. Now, if you have a TIFF or a PNG and you have that transparent background, okay, then what will happen is only areas that are white will get printed, but the transparent areas won't. So let me go back here again.
So for instance, like the white in the tiger space.
One is a PNG and has a transparent background. We can see how this checkerboard kind of background that represents the transparent, whereas this one doesn't have that checkerboard. That means that because it doesn't have that transparency, it doesn't have that alpha channel. So so what you want to do is you want to select the if you have one with a transparent background, and you select t-shirts, medium black. We'll see what happens if you use one with a transparent background.
Okay. So like for when we were talking about like logos, if somebody wanted it to be
I should have you do this because you're okay. Anyway, so there you go. So now you see that the image areas that you want white will be white because we'll lay down a layer of white ink, but anything that's transparent won't lay down. So you'll be able to get that really kind of that cool look that everyone wants with their shirts and their designs.
And it doesn't make it look like it's a transfer, basically, because I know when back in the day when you would get your t-shirt transfers out of like cereal boxes, and you would put it's that white square.
Different process. Now, whatever you do, don't submit black text in order of a black shirt. That's just not going to work.
Yeah, it's really good with that.
You have to see it because it'll transfer black ink or that black garment ink to the shirt, but it's not going to be very visible, not very noticeable. So use some common sense. Try not to think too much into it.
Yeah.
Either. So just common sense, and you'll get really cool.
I think that's going to be a really popular product. We've had a lot of people ask for it. We have a lot of customers that right now, doing their drop shipping. They have us for paper prints, metals, and maybe have used Printful for their garment t-shirt things. A lot of people have just expressed wanting to have it all in one vendor fulfillment. So I think this would be a popular.
We're going to have some things that other companies like Printful won't. One of the things that a lot of people like about us over Printful, and I don't usually, I'm not in the habit of publicly knocking our competition, but I do know that they love our quality. They love how we ship things. Versus and not to pick on Printful. I mean, I can't pick on them. They're gargantuan, they're giant. But compared to us, but they not to demean them, but we go above and beyond compared to what they do as far as quality control. Packaging.
I mean, I've been a Printful customer too, and
well, a lot of our staff use Printful for products that we don't produce or haven't produced in the past, and but for us, one of the things that people don't realize until they start using us and then compare us with other companies, or if they've used other companies. They don't realize it until they've used other companies after us or before us, is the attention to detail and quality that we focus on.
I mean, it's not to say that we're not going to have somebody who needs some kind of correction done. But
no, there's always going to be issues that pop up. Image
colors.
Correctly, colors appear to be off. Those are just a given because there's certain factors that can influence that are outside of our control, or something may happen to prevent the image from print outputting the way it was normally.
Visually seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just but you know, in general, people have come to know us for quality, and that brings up something that a lot of people have commented on recently, and that is our canvas prints. We're expecting some huge growth in the realm of canvas prints this year, and one of the reasons is because we've had a number of companies approach us due to the about producing canvas prints for them because of the quality that of our canvas prints. They don't look like cheap, Walmart home decor department canvas prints. They look professional, and we really have our staff. And not to say that our canvas department has been less than what it is today, but I think we have the best team ever.
Yes, we do.
Canvas prints.
I think so too.
And
I was part of that earlier canvas team, so I really am impressed with them. Really.
Yeah, we really have some good, and it's not to knock their predecessors, because their predecessors are the ones that trained them. So we got some really good people working in the canvas department, and we've been slowly and gradually expanding it. And if you want good quality canvas prints, you need to go to FinerWorks, because that is one product that I am extremely proud of, and that is our canvas prints. We've started shifting, except for our gloss canvas. All our canvas prints now use these really incredible Epson resin inks, so durable, incredible color gamut. And we're able to print, and we're not running into the issues that we had when we had aqueous canvas. We were running into supply issues, the various materials to protect the print. I mean, it was a nightmare, a logistics nightmare. And so it's a lot easier, a lot quicker for us. And we're able to we're going to be able to do more sales on canvas prints as well. So make them much more competitive, while delivering what I believe is a higher quality product.
And it is, like I said, I used to work at a gallery to reject something, because when you're at a gallery and you sell prints, sometimes people don't want it. Like I said, our art gallery director there would never let us say the word reproduction. We always had to say a fine art canvas print, or Jaclay on fine art canvas print, and the quality had to meet that. And you did run into, and like I said, we run into like big name, I won't say artists, but it's a company that would that generates its own art out there. You would think they would buy top line because they have the money for it, but it would be a plastic type kind of canvas. It looks like it kind of fiber. It looks like, but
yeah, you can
people
tell.
are buying it and putting it in their trunks in the Texas heat. The edges where the stretcher bar would meet was actually melting off, and people would come back after spending quite a bit of money on these small prints because of that. So it was a quality issue there. And as a gallery, you don't want to have to kind of explain a printer's choice in not getting a high quality canvas for your prints.
You definitely can. One of the things with our canvas prints is you can feel the difference, the weight, because we're using solid wood stretcher bars to versus MDF, which is like a particle board. The thickness of the canvas. We have a lot of companies that just order unmounted. Most people then think of ordering canvas prints. They think of ordering stretch and mounted canvas prints, like you saw in that picture. But a lot of people order unmounted canvas prints. They just want us to print the canvas, and then we ship the printed canvas to them, and then they stretch and mount it because they like the quality of the canvas prints. But yeah, we've really gotten a lot of people just and I'm going to be talking the heck about. I'm going to talk about this a lot over this next year about how and brag, be a little boastful about how people come to us and really liking our canvas prints now compared to some of our competitors. We've always done very well in the canvas print arena, but for quite some time we were like, okay, yeah, FinerWorks does great canvas. This company does it. They all do. All these companies do great canvases, but we've really we stepped up our game, and some of these companies have stepped down theirs. So
yeah, you can see the difference on it when you purchase your thing. And like James was saying, you can order those. They don't have to be stretched and mounted on stretcher bars. You can order make that, and some people prefer to do their own stretching.
Some people order send stuff to us to stretch out because they like the way we stretch and mount.
True. Cowdrip does a good job.
Pretty prominent companies out there do that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and if you didn't know, we actually still do hand stretching. That's all done by.
Yeah, we
we have some tools.
there's machines out there that do it all. Okay, there's machines that really help, and there's and then there's hand stretching. We found okay, well, me personally, I like the machines, but our current team of canvas stretcher and people working in the canvas printing department, they prefer to do it by hand, and they're amazing. They do it just as fast by hand. I mean, I can't do it that fast.
No,
I could never do it fast.
I think even when I came in over 5 years ago, and Moore and I used to do canvas. Moore liked awesome. Moore was, those nipples in the back look like a machine.
One thing with machines versus doing it by hand is you have incredible control on the precision and the tension. You can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can. And like I said, our team does a great job. Well, James, with that, is there anything else you want to?
No, I have to run.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so with that was pretty much my conversation there with James. Let me stop sharing there. And we again, ultimately what we want to do is thank you guys for being customers. We always value your input, whether you send us through customer care at finerworks.com and let us know. James reads a lot of the stuff that customer service, responds to. So always feel like you're being heard. Sometimes the solution is not as easily found, and sometimes it takes us some research to do. We apologize for that time that it does take for us to kind of get that all together and working. And if anybody has questions right now, go ahead and put those in. Found Trips, I want to thank you so much. You've had such great comments and feedbacks for us too, and Cinnamon as well. We appreciate those, and I hope everybody goes back through the chat, and I put the links into different artists to follow. just see how some of them build their social following, see how the content they produce. So hopefully that helps you guys get some uh, new clients and new collectors for you guys as well. But yeah, if you have questions right now, go ahead and put them into the questions. I'm sorry, the comment sections on the live. And I'll be sure James gets those too. We had to previously record that just because James did have some obligations this evening. Um, and we still wanted you all to have a live experience on here. But like I said, we try to be as responsive as we can, and your input is important because y'all are the reason that we kind of offer these products. We want to offer something that you need out there that diversifies your art, and basically gives different price points for your collectors of all different economic backgrounds so that they can have your art and they can grow into being, those super collectors later on. So let us know what we can provide you. We'll look into different medias. We're always checking out different ways to see if we can do these as a drop ship item. Um, but like I said, if y'all have questions on any of our products, questions on any of our processes on our website, um, we're here to help. We're here to help make that a simple process. And like, look out on your Friday newsletters from FinerWorks. We'll be having those Tango, which are basically PDFs and slideshows that will show you how to navigate our screen and make orders. But if no one else has any comments, we will shut down just a little early, just because this was a previously recorded um, broadcast for today, and I'm just jumping in here on the live end of it. And again, Happy New Year, guys, from all of us at FinerWorks. We appreciate all your support. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next Tuesday. We have our second Tuesday, which we will have Jim Landers. Actually, I totally forgot about announcements. And if you get to jump in, we're going to talk on the new format we're going to have for Photo Tips Monthly and how you can be a part of the show and be on the show, especially if you're a photographer. And we're looking from anybody who is starting out in photography, maybe even trying to create their own portrait business, to those who want to find out how to be a mentor. Do you reach out to, let me check sometimes that looks weird. Let me see. I'm trying to just see your question here, Cinnamon. Do you reach out to the artist while printing? It depends, Cinnamon. Sometimes we will see something, especially when somebody orders, and we always tell people if they're going to make a big order, like say they're going to do 100 prints to, sometimes we have somebody with 1,000 prints. We ask that they do one test print before placing that order if they can. If we see something odd in it, and it's hard to catch now. I mean, we used to be able to see it right as it was coming off the printer, but sometimes now they get printed, they get picked up by people who will cut these prints down, and sometimes they're cutting so many prints that they're not looking at that. It's just making sure it falls within the print guides as far as like the spacing. So sometimes because color intent is not always known to us, especially with art, we may miss it. But if we see something, let's say there's a white line that obviously goes through it, it's something very noticeable, we will reach out to them. Pixelated. So if they're pixelated prints, sometimes we do. We try, if we notice it, like I said, some pixelation, it won't get seen right away as it's going through so many of them. And the best thing with pixelation is always uploading for your print size. That's going to help with your pixelation. Take your pixel numbers. So whenever you're in, and let me see if I can share my screen really quick and find this. You would take your pixels and divide by 300 DPI. And that will give you ideally the max size you should go. And then anything exceeding that is kind of yours, like up to your preference. For me, for instance, I'm comfortable going about 5 inches bigger than the optimal size off of the pixels. And if you go to our Instagram account, let me just show you that and present, share screen. Let me just get right there and show you. Okay. Let's see. Let me get a different window open, actually. Well, I guess I could share it right here. Hold on one second. Let's go into home. If we go to FinerWorks Instagram account, sorry about that. I do have that thing to help you with pixelation. It's just kind of the math on it. If you're a Geo Galleries artist, you guys pretty much know that one. You can go and find it under tips right here. Let's see if it'll pop open. And let's see if we can get fast forward ahead to it. And I will try and pause it as it comes up. Here's a couple of just tips for ordering. Let me get, I believe it might be 2 more. And 1 more here. Let me get ready to pause. Okay, so there's that math. If you have your pixels and when you load up to your account, let's go here to let's go into your inventory files. And if you hit products right here, or actually even before, you'll see your pixel amount of the item you went ahead and uploaded. You would just take that and again, like I said, divide that by 300 DPI. That should give you the inches, but also note that we print in whole inches. So it's best to get these rounded numbers. And you want to do all of that in your photo editing software before you upload the file. That will help you with pixelation. Also, viewing it at 100% are kind of good ways to test out for pixelation, make sure it's not there. But if we do see something, we do try to reach the customer if we notice it in time. Any other questions? Okay. Like I said, I'll let that, if there's somebody else has a question, pop it in. So I'm going to go back. So like I said, next Tuesday, I believe that'll be the 10th. We'll have Jim Lander's Photo Tips Monthly. It's a new day, time, format. So we want you to turn in because we really want to make that one interactive. The other thing I'd like you guys to see is going to be, we're going to have an artist who has written out a book. Her name is Miriam, I want to say Schulman, hope I'm saying your name correctly and not badly butchering it. And I will have it down by the time we get to the show. But she has a book coming out January 31st. And let me see if I can pull that out. It's called Entrepreneur by Miriam. Let me pull this up and again, share my screen so y'all can see this. And we will present, share screen. And let's go right here. And let's click on hers. There we are. So this will be coming out on the 31st, and we'll have her that first Tuesday of February. And as you can see in the title, it's a step-by-step guide to making a sustainable living from your creativity. So she's going to talk about, just basically the steps that she has gone through that have worked for her, that she has in this book, and hopefully that you guys can use those that experience and transition it into your own creative journey on making your art another stream of income for you. Everybody, and I think every artist I've ever met has always want to, basically just be supported by their art. And it's great to go ahead and have your original works, original performances, original writings out there and commanding a lot of money. But it's also nice once you get into, I want to say, a passive income stream with your art, where you have your prints being drop shipped for you in the background. And there's that steady stream of income that's coming in. And then you also have the income, that comes in gaps whenever you have your commissions going. So hopefully y'all will tune in on Tuesday and ask her some great questions. I'm really excited about her coming on. I'm also going to be reaching out to several gallerist friends of mine, like Todd Gracely there in Austin at AO5, and see if they'll come on and tell you guys their perspective as gallerists, what they're looking for, what sells, how they go ahead and make or curate their collector base. Those are tips I'm hoping to kind of share with you guys with some really great guests. So if you also have something that you would like to share with other artists and photographers, who are on this printmaking journey, reach out to me at customercare@finerworks.com, and I would be glad to try and set up a time that maybe we can go ahead and do a first Tuesday with you. I am booking up a lot of people fast, so please let me know if you guys are interested. And Cinnamon, I'm so glad that was helpful to you. If you need help, just reach out to us, okay? And I'd be glad to help you if you need help with some of those uploading some of your images. Y'all have a great 2023. I hope all of y'all are successful in it. I'm hoping that you have a really prosperous new year, and I'm hoping your art just sells like no tomorrow for you guys. So with that, we'll go ahead and close this down a little early, and you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.